and welcome to the Mindset Coach podcast, the show where coaches and coaches-to-be tune in to learn how to integrate mindset coaching tools and neuroscience-based techniques into their practice and grow and scale a coaching business they love. I'm your host, Lara Young, founder of the Mindset Coach Academy, author of 52 Adventures to Change Your Life, award-winning business owner, coach, and coach trainer. Tune into this podcast each Friday, free on all the podcasting apps, and click to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, mindset is everything. How to help your clients to create their vision. As coaches, our role is really to help our clients to create change, to move from where they are now to where they want to be, from the present state to their desired state of being. And one of the really important things in this, of course, is for us to understand what is their vision for the future and to help them to create a vision that is compelling and motivating and attractive to them to the extent that they're going to take the action that they need to take. They're going to create the habits that they need to create to step into the identity that they need to step into in order to make that vision a reality. So in this episode, we're going to be looking at what a vision is and how to help your clients to create a vision that does all of those things, that really helps them to propel forwards into that future and make it a reality. Now, a lot of times we hear from our clients that they don't know what they want. And it's very, very interesting because in order, of course, for us to help our clients to create change in their lives or their businesses, we really need to understand what it is that they do desire. And typically our clients will come to us to be coached around three main umbrellas. The first one is their health. The second one is their wealth. And the third one is happiness or any other positive state of being. And it's interesting because as coaches, when we have a really defined niche, we'll typically be attracting those clients who want our specific help. They need our specific expertise to help them to go from where they are now to where they want to be. And when they hire us, they've got a fairly good idea as to why they're coming to coaching, as to the outcome that they want to achieve. Now, it's interesting because they may have an idea of what it is that they want to achieve, but when we first interact with our clients, we don't really know what that is. And that's why, getting that deep understanding of our clients is so important at the outset of coaching so that we know how they've got to where they are right now. What are all the conscious and unconscious decisions that they've been making that have led them to be where they are now in their life or business? What are their habits? What are their beliefs? What are their values? Who do they see themselves as? And what action have they taken so far in relation to moving towards what they desire to do, be, or have in their life or business? Of course, we need to understand things from their perspective, from their model of the world. What we also need to know, of course, is that when our clients come to us, they may at the surface know what it is that they want, but it's our job as coaches to really uncover what it is that they truly desire. Because often what will happen is our clients will present something to us as being their vision of how they want the future to be. But maybe it's not the bravest vision. Maybe it's not the most compelling vision. Maybe it's a vision that's been curated and collected and wired in by their history, by the people that they surround themselves with, by their current environment, even by their expectations about what they can get rather than what it is that they truly and deeply desire. So the thing is that when our clients come to us, they tell us what it is that they want, and that is something that we do want to know. But we want to get to the heart of that. And so we see a lot of websites, don't we? And I've seen a lot of memes where it's kind of like that question, the rhetorical question, there's got to be more to life than this. What is it that I want? I don't know what I want. I kind of feel vanilla. I feel bland. I feel bored. I feel apathetic. or I experience anger or jealousy or resentment because other people have things and I don't have them. And it's interesting because it's those sort of indicators that, there's something not quite right in someone's life, or, there's things aren't going quite as well as they think they should be, or they could be. And sometimes it can just be a case of they're comparing themselves to other people, that they're, as I say, that they're people that they surround themselves with, are achieving things that they think, well, actually, maybe I should be doing that, or maybe I should be doing something else. Sometimes the catalyst for people coming to coaching is a milestone event in someone else's life, not even their own life, right? So they could come to you for coaching because their best friends got married, or, their sisters had a baby, or they've, someone else has got a promotion, someone else has started a business, and they're looking around themselves at the landscape of their lives and they're thinking, other people have all these things. Why don't I have them? Should I want them? Shouldn't I want them? I want them too. I don't really know. And so a lot of times people come to us because they want that clarity. They want to actually understand what it is that they truly, deeply desire. But that's not what they tell us. Sometimes they'll tell us, I know what I want. I want the new house. I want the baby. I want to get married. I want to have that promotion, or I want to start my business. And the interesting thing is that wanting something isn't the same as liking something. And so sometimes what happens is, of course, we can think that we truly want and truly desire something, but it's not actually that we want or desire. It's the feeling of having that or doing that or being that person that it is that we want or desire. And the way that we get that isn't necessarily the same way in which other people in our lives have gotten that or achieved that or are fulfilling that specific need. And it's really interesting because I think people are becoming increasingly conditioned to keep expecting their future to be like their past, and it fascinates me. We look at social media, for example. Search engines don't present us with what they think we want in the future. They present us with the things that we've shown an interest in the past. They present us with things that we have Googled before, or that we've clicked on Facebook or Instagram, and they keep showing us things like that because they think, well, that's what that person wants to see. And of course, the more we see these things, the more we see them, the more they get ingrained in our neurology, and they become this well-worn path of expectation. Oh yeah, that's what I want. That's what I desire. That's what I should have in my life. And I think it's our role as coaches to really help our clients to step beyond our limited environment. And by environment, I mean the places we go, the people we spend time with, social media, the patterns that we're used to engaging in, to step beyond that and actually think to ourselves, what is possible for me? How can I engage my creative brain in exploring all those possibilities and potential opportunities for how my life could be, not for how my friends' lives or how my family expect my life to be, but how do I really want my life to be? Or if I want to start a business, let's start with that blank piece of paper. How do I really want it to be? And it's interesting because when we think about it, it is easier to get what we really, really want than what we think we can get. I'm going to say that again. It's easier for us to get what we really, really want than what we think we can get. And the reason for this is that when we really desire something, we are combining cognition, we're combining thought with emotion. And when we have these two things combined, we get action. Right? Thought and emotion and action. We get motivation. We get purpose. We move forward with volition to achieving what it is that we actually desire. And so we're much more likely to achieve it when it is this compelling vision for us, when it is something that sends those rockets of desires up and says, yes, this is for me. And every thought, action, belief, behavior, habit that I have is going to support me in achieving this vision and bring it into my reality for my life or for my business. And when we have that, combination of thought and emotion and action, then we become pretty much unstoppable. And so when we're working with our clients to help them articulate and come up with their vision, we want them to go beyond those ritual cliches that they think about as being possible for them. And so often in our lives, we think in cliches, we think in the patterns of what we think we should want or we should desire, or what springs immediately to mind for us. Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you, so thank you for your support. Now back to the show. I want you for a moment just to imagine that you're sitting on a grassy riverbank and the river is flowing in front of you. And I imagine that you may have had some thoughts come to mind of perhaps a willow tree overhead, or the feeling of the grass, the bright green grass underneath you. Perhaps you saw the sun sparkling on the water as it rippled by over the pebbles on the riverbed. Maybe you're sitting on a red and white checked tablecloth. Now, in noticing these things, you're probably not alone, because a lot of people will have had that very same vision. And the reason is because it's the cliched interpretation of what it's like to sit on a grassy green riverbank. And so much of our lives, we do that. We accept what is the norm and we don't dig deeper underneath what else could be possible. What else could be possible in that vision for us? And as coaches, that's really what we want to do with our clients. Now, the next thing that we want to do, of course, then is to harness our clients' creativity when they are thinking about their desired future, when they're thinking about this vision. And often that means getting our brains, or getting their brains, to be in a state of relaxation and meditation so that visualization can come up. The unconscious mind can start to engage with their conscious mind and really bring into play all the possibilities and potentialities. Now, in the Academy, we have a future you visualization, which is incredibly powerful. And as a coach, you can create your own visualization for your client, which is about things like imagining their ideal day. What is it that they're doing when they get up in the morning? Who are they interacting with? Where are they living? Where do they go? Where do they work? How do they spend their time? How do they feel? And then what's the step beyond that? What's the step beyond that experience? What's the higher version of that version of themselves? Who do they need to be? What do they need to be thinking about? What are they wearing? You know, how do they feel? How do they engage with people around them? And really getting them into that space of practicing that visualization. And we do have a script in the Academy, as I say, for this. And you can also create your own. But the idea is that your clients will listen to a visualization, and perhaps you give it to them once they've signed on with you as a coaching client, or before they join your program, to get them in the habit of listening every morning and tuning their unconscious and conscious mind and their creativity into purposeful creation of this vision of the future for themselves. Because the creative brain is incredibly powerful, and we're going to go into this in a lot more detail in future episodes as we explore neuroscience, as I say, in more detail and with more granularity. The other thing, of course, that we want to remind our clients when we're helping them to create a vision is that they are in control, that they have the ability to be at cause in their life. They have the ability to control and have power over the way they think, the way they feel, the way they act, the way they react. the habits that they have the power within them, both at the conscious and the unconscious level, to create changes that are going to compel and create momentum towards that vision, towards that future. And that if they are on the effect side of the equation, which is essentially, I guess, the victim side of the equation. So things happen to me, not for me. You know, nothing ever goes right. I can't lose weight. Everyone in my family's big boned. No one in our family went to university. That's for other people, but not for me. When we help our clients to see that when they're on the cause side of the equation, when they're taking deliberate, intentional action coupled with emotion and compulsion, that they can actually achieve anything that they desire. And so having them take responsibility and accountability for incrementally even taking a step a day towards what it is that they desire is so much more powerful than doing nothing at all and sitting in inertia, because the biggest enemy of inertia, of action, of course, is inertia. It's doing nothing, thinking nothing, creating nothing. So with our clients, then the other thing that we want to do is we want to help them understand, you know, what is their big vision, and visualization is so powerful for that as they visualize their future self. Taking responsibility and accountability and making the commitment and the decision that they can choose a future that is, you know, it's in sympathy with and it's ecological to the current relationships in their life, you know, what's currently going on, but also that it steps outside the boundaries or the limitations potentially that their current environment and the people that they are with may place on them, being creative, you know, and taking things to that very next level. The other thing then we want to do, of course, is bring in values, because values for our clients are hugely motivating. When something is important to us, we make it important. When something is important to us, we make it important. We make it a priority. And so when you help your client to create the vision for how they want their life to be or their business to be, you also want to then explore with them what are their values around that, around those things, around those elements. And so you ask your clients, and here's a simple value solicitation process. We share a more detailed values solicitation and values ranking and hierarchy process in the Mindset Coach certification program. But for now, if you can, when you've helped your client to establish the vision of what they want, you know, this amazing wow vision of what their life's going to be like, and they're emotionally, like they feel great about it, there's desire, there's, you know, they really want to achieve that and take action to achieve it, then you can ask them what's important to you about it. And you just simply write down the value statements. What will this get for you, enable you to do? What else, what else, what else? And you're going to write those statements down and then show them to your client. And you're going to say to your client, which of these stands out as being most important to you in terms of, you know, motivation, in terms of value in relation to this vision or to this element of the vision. And you're going to rank them 1, 2, 3 in level of importance. And this is brilliant because then you can take that further step of asking your client, say, for example, their first value was freedom. And you said to your client, okay, so when you think of freedom, do you have a picture? You know, when you have freedom, who are you? How are you acting? What are you doing? And then it becomes part of that entire process of them having that vision at a complete sensory level for themselves, because what they're doing is they're integrating what they can see, what they can hear, what they can feel, and what they're saying to themselves as they're experiencing the achievement of what it is that they desire, as they know that they've moved into that present state, as they've moved into that vision. And when people understand their values and why it's important, or security is important, or whatever the values they have come up with is really, really important. And it becomes something that they can then even be tasked with focusing on, thinking about and bringing into things like their journaling practice or vision boarding practice, into action practices. Okay. In what ways today can I show that can I support the fact that I'm abundant, for example? Maybe something that you'll want to do with your clients. So the thing is that what we want to do in terms of helping our clients to create a vision is to ask them, what do you want? How do you want your life to be? When you think about your life now and in the future, what do you see, hear, feel? What are you saying to yourself? What is your life like? Now, of course, you can use the wheel of life as the foundational structure for helping your clients to create a vision. The wheel of life is a set of different life areas that we can focus on one at a time to help our clients to then understand and identify what it is that they want in each of those areas. So you could use the wheel of life to identify what they want in terms of love and relationships, in terms of family, in terms of their home, in terms of their finances, in terms of their health, in terms of their self-development, maybe even in terms of their spirituality, for example. And you can define and agree those with your client. And when you start to look at those, you can look at those individually to help your client to create and establish that vision that they have of where they want to be. And then, of course, once you've got the vision and you've got this value-based motivation and you've got the emotion, the desire for them to actually want to make that a reality, then you can start to go through a process of setting goals for each area and planning how your client is going to actually achieve those things and make them a reality. And of course, we're going to cover that in another session. So when you're working with your client to create their vision, you need to understand from them what it is that they truly desire, how they feel about what they truly desire, and what's important to them. What are their values? What's motivating them in relation to that big vision? And it encompasses some of that cognitive thought, thinking thought. It encompasses emotion, and it encompasses that desire, that volition, that energy, that positive energy, and being at cause in their lives, so that they know that now that they've identified the vision that they want to have, that they've got for their lives, they're going to take the steps, the actions, the thoughts, the emotions, and embrace the beliefs that they need to embrace and the habits that they need to embrace in order to make that a reality. Bye for now. That wraps up this week's episode of the Mindset Coach podcast. Remember to join us next week for another episode and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Leave us a review if you've loved it, share it with your friends, and I really look forward to learning how you're implementing the tools and techniques that you're learning here. Mindset is everything.